T-minus 5 minutes. T-minus 4 minutes. T-minus 3 minutes. T-minus 2 minutes. T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
Yeah, look, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, park catalyst. I think we got a hit. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Look, we got Prince, Blue and Sgt talking black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. It's Step and Blue.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It is the Black and Blue Lives podcast. I am your host, Dr. Prince Blue, and this is my homie, retired Sergeant Steppe. And what we're going to do is, first of all, how's everybody doing? All right, great, phenomenal. I'm going to let you know why I'm so meh with that. But this is Black and Blue Live podcast where we talk about everything from law enforcement to mental health to break it down, viral videos, break it down, use of force. We do it from both our own points of view, our own shared experience. If you're new to this platform, you will know that me and Step are both retired CMPD police officers. He's a retired sergeant. I am a retired patrol officer, and he was my supervisor. So you got all that connection, you got all that and more. So, Step, I mean, what's going on, buddy?
Same old, man.
Same old. That's
Nothing,
you know
nothing
what?
new.
Let's just get into it, buddy. We got a new chief.
We do.
We have a new chief. That is soon as she's sworn. That is Chief Stella Patterson, former chief of Raleigh's police department. And she's also a former deputy chief of CMPD. So she went to Raleigh. She was a chief there from 2021 to 2024, right?
Yeah.
2024. She did some things there, and for those who don't know, Chief Jennings, who is right now, he's going to be gone by the end of the year. Thank God, hallelujah. And they started a nationwide search, and she was one of the finalists, and she was offered to position. I now this is what I'm going to say here, Step. I have never worked with Chief Patterson. I saw her around. I saw her at the LEC and things of that nature, but I never worked with her. But from everything that I'm hearing from the people I reach out to that's still on the force and people around, out of all the choices, this is the one that they're most excited about. This is what they wanted. I guess you could say they got somebody from the outside, but still on the inside. I don't know. I have my take on it, but I want somebody who has worked with her, who has been around with her, who also you two have your own connection still back in the force. What is the vibe going on with Chief Patterson stepping in?
No, I think everybody's happy, and I just wanted to set the record straight that a lot of people are coming to me that outside the police department, and the perception is, oh, it's a black female. This is a DEI hire. It's not. She's, and you know, Prince and I both. If you're not, if you're a piece of shit and not squared away, we'll say it. But actually, I've worked very closely with her. When she was over IA, of course, I was in IA all the time. For doing my job. Never for anything bad. And she was up there, and then when I was on a couple pay plan committee, response to resistance, we created the new use of force policy, and she was part of those things, and worked closely with her. And I mean, she surprised me. She's squared away. She's fair, right? So if you mess up, she'll hold you accountable, which that's all we expect, right? And she's very smart, and I think she's a great pick. And when she left to go to Raleigh, I've got some contacts down there, and they really liked her down there. She did some stuff for morale, and really made an impact down there, and did a lot of hiring. She was able to get a lot of people hired, and get the officers some stuff that they were wanting. And a lot of people said she went to Raleigh just so she could come as an outsider, kind of insider outsider, like you said earlier, for the next chief job. And so I don't know if she did, because I know she retired from Raleigh, like you said, last year, and now she's coming out of retirement to take this job. It's it's a huge accomplishment for her. I had no way, shape, or form do I think she's a DEI hire. She deserves this position, and I think the officers are happy. You and I both stay in contact with a lot of officers. And they're happy. I think she'll be good for the city, and it's a move in the right direction.
I will say this: FOP endorsed her, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
FOP has the pulse of the officers. They seem to be happy. This what I'm going to do, because I haven't, like I said, I never worked with her. I didn't have any interactions with her except for like seeing her around. I will say this: you and I, you probably more than me. I think I went through 3 chiefs. It was Monroe, then it was Putney, then it was Jennings. So I had 3 chiefs. You've had your fair share. The thing, what happens when a new chief comes in is we look at our longevity and what is it that the new chief is going to implement or take away that's going to affect us when it comes to doing our jobs. I just think from the outside looking in, when you have a hire like this, with everything that's going on with the whole DEI initiative and everything else, it was just clear that people were just going to go that route because it's lazy. It's lazy to label a minority, anything that's outside of the normal structure at DEI hire, when I don't have to get into all the statistics. And, when I have this nuanced conversation, people, DEI mainly, it's supposed to be for minority, but it actually helped white people more. I know that's going to it's going to mind fuck a lot of people, but that's the flat out truth. So when you say DEI, I already know you're coming from low intelligence because you just want to be lazy. This is not a DEI hire.
No. She's squared away.
She's squared away.
Yeah.
She comes of high regard. Now, if you want to get into the whole thing, like some people got issues, they're like, working under a female chief and stuff like that. That's for you to work out. It is what it is. But I will tell you this: she wasn't bad mouthed on the way out the door of Raleigh.
No.
And she wasn't bad mouthed out of the door when she left CMPD. So, and again, she left CMPD as a deputy chief. For those who don't know, the next step is chief.
Who's the cop? I think when I first met her, I think she was a sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So she's good people. I mean, I've heard, some people, you're not going to find someone that likes everyone, because
correct.
Screw people. But I think 90% plus of people you talk to say something positive. If someone says something negative, you have to just take that with a grain of salt. I mean, she without going into detail, she went out of her way to take care of me at the department, and she was one of. I actually had a couple of deputy chiefs, some majors and captains who really took care of me when I was going through the PTSD stuff. They reached out to me, but she took care of me, and I mean, and I definitely appreciated it. So she's. You get. I mean, I've been in IA, and for someone for multiple times. She was a major. She was on the board, and someone's trying to kill us, and I told him to shut the fuck up when I'm trying to get on the radio, so I get on the radio and call for help, and I get written up, for a murder suspect. And they said, if how AA works, you got a sergeant, I'm a sergeant, so you got to know the sergeant. He could ask you questions, but he didn't vote. You got a lieutenant, captain, a major at the head of the table, and sometimes that's a fucking disaster with some of the people they have there.
Mm-hmm.
And then a civilian person, which is
Another fucking
disaster because they don't know shit. And then the major, maybe the captain major, but I've been last one I was in, I was about to lose my shit. It was a 1040 a vehicle chase. I think this was it. It was a vehicle chase. It was a shootout back and forth. I get behind the vehicle, initiate chase, catch the guy at 120 miles per hour. We're going through city streets. They go jump and run. Me and my guys, we're right on top. Get on the fucking ground, don't move. We're handcuffing them. And as we're handcuffing the driver, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He almost killed like 27 people. And it's funny because he ended up killing somebody. He actually shot and killed somebody not too long after that. But handcuffed. Of course, they don't complain. That's just street talk. They're not complaining. Well, of course, they reviewed my video. I had plans to go to like Disney World with my family. I had to cancel it because I had to go to IA board for like unbecoming conduct because I asked this shooter gang life thug ass guy what the fuck was wrong with him, why he put so, and they wrote me up, not saying, hey, good job finding the vehicle, chasing it, no one got hurt, we caught the bad guys. And I remember I was about to lose my shit. And she was like, when it got around to her, she was like, first of all, Sergeant Steppe, I've seen a lot of your videos. You do excellent work. You know, it just kind of brought the temperature of the room back down. Because you have people asking, you know, the civilian was trying to say I was a racist because I referred to the 4 suspects as those people. I said, we dealt with those people multiple times. And
that's what those people are.
Those people, they're gangbangers.
Those people.
And she's like, what does that mean? Because they're black? I was like, what the fuck?
I would have said yes. What did I tell you, Step? Sometimes you just got to say yeah and then see what their reaction is.
I was about to lose my shit, and there was a major in there who's a fucking moron. Was like, Sarge, now, would you say that you have to remember that? I'm like, I want to be like, I don't
have to remember shit. Those people, those animals, those gangbangers, those criminals.
People that we're in here talking about, and I'm about to lose my, and I'm literally about to just explode and be like, you know what? Y'all can take this job and shove it your ass. Like, you know, and I even said in that interview, I was like, you know, I'm having problems, you know, the PTSD issue, and they just shut me up. They didn't want to hear that shit. I was like, okay. And then, but she picked up on it and was like, it brought it back down, and I always appreciate that. And some other times I've dealt with her stuff. She's always complimentary. So I'm happy, and you know, if it would, there were a couple of good options. You know, of course, you know, there was one. Brawley was our lieutenant in Eastway.
Mm-hmm.
I always got along with her. I don't have any issues with her. I think for what the department needs right now, I think Stella would maybe do a little more for the officers on the street. I think she's going to focus on. She did a press conference here. She's going to focus on, you know, I think it was, you know, morale was one of them.
Morale, recruitment, and that's where we're going to get into the one thing that I've listened to several videos. I have not seen where she said that she wants to hire 30% more females or something like that. I haven't seen that. I've heard it. I've heard from other people that that's what she said, but I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
Well, I don't know if it came from her, but I have heard 30 by 30. What they wanted, they sent out. I don't know if it was her, but they sent out some a while back where they wanted 30% of females by 2030.
Is that what she said, or that's what the department said?
I'm not sure. I don't think it came from her, but it might.
And this is my problem. This is my problem, and this is what she's stepping into, and she's going to have to deal with this. We already have an issue with police far as training and recruitment and getting the right officers out there. And if you're already handcuffing yourself to a certain number for a quota, I think that's going to be a terrible mistake. I think you should hire the best police officers, no matter gender, no matter race, no matter sex, no matter religion, the best police officers. Once you start getting into, I need 10 black officers, or I need 32 white officers, or I need 3 Asian officers, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
And that's what they've done for years. That's how we had Marcus Jackson hired. Remember, he went out and started like raping people on traffic stops.
Awful.
In the division we worked.
Can I tell you a story real quick about Marcus Jackson?
Yeah, absolutely.
After Marcus Jackson was arrested and all that shit came out about him being a perverted sexual predator, guess who was the next black officer to come through Eastway?
You.
Me. It was me. So I had to deal with all of that. And oh yeah, Marcus Jackson helped with handcuffing techniques at the academy when I was in that class. And now that I think about it, he paid a lot of attention to the Hispanic officers. Wild, right? And
yeah.
that's what he was out there raping while on duty. But yeah, when you have quotas, you bypass red flags because you want to fit a certain narrative, and you get monsters like Marcus Jackson on the force. That's why it is very important to just hire the best police officers. Don't start putting characteristics like race and religion and sex and don't start doing that.
Is he had troubling things in his background, and it was a big stink at the academy because a recruiter didn't say, hey, we shouldn't hire this guy, and they overruled him. And then not too long after that, I actually had, I've heard it straight from the recruiters where they had they wanted the most diverse class in CMPD history, and they were told to get what I think it was like 10 or 50, 20 or whatever out of the no hire pile and replace it with the white people. There were people that already hired. They were going to hire. They said, get 20 out of that. We want minorities out of that pile. They said, and a lot of the recruiters, I think some of them quit in protest, and there's a seat because they're like, no, we're not.
They should have, because if you're hiring me to recruit,
they took qualified people, took it out, and then replaced it with, and then look, you got higher risk of liability. I mean, there's a reason we do backgrounds and stuff. If you don't meet, if you can't, and that's when we're having. This was when we're having. People don't remember, man. We didn't have a recruiting problem. We'd have 2,000, 3,000 people apply for
20 slots.
CMPD
was premier.
Oh yeah, and what's bad part about that is you had some of the admin that would be like, if you don't like this job, there's 100,000 people behind you that want it. They didn't give a shit about their employees. A lot of them didn't. But and then there's been many times where they focus, to your point, where they focus on if they want females, they want Hispanics, they want blacks, they want Asians, but you hire. I don't. If there's a class of 20 and there's 20 black people in it, so be it. If there's 20 Asian, so be it. 20 white, whatever it doesn't matter. Race should not be an issue on an application process. I don't think for anything. I think it should just be best candidate.
Let's look at the qualifications and just make the best person win.
Because you're hiring these people for the wrong reasons, and some of these people shouldn't be police officers.
Some of these people shouldn't even be human beings, like Marcus Jackson. He's a subhuman, and he had a badge. You gave a sexual predator power, arrest powers,
and that messed us up because people were scared to death, especially in the Hispanic community. Because for people who don't know, he was making traffic stops on mostly Hispanic females.
Yes.
And said, hey, I won't give you a ticket or take you to jail, but you have to perform sexual favors. And this went on for a while. And then, for a couple of years after that, people in the community knew about it. Sometimes people wouldn't stop because they were scared.
They would call you Mark. They would call black officers Marcus Jackson.
Oh, yeah. It all because they were going to hire him. They decided
he was in the no pile, but I guess it was too many whites, so they was like, you know what?
Chief, and that's what you get. They cut corners and
you can't cut
30, and I hope she's not pushing for it. It's one thing if you have a hiring drive and you try to get more females to apply.
That's different versus saying this what I want.
Yeah, you can't set a standard and be like, hey, there's gonna be 30% of females in this class.
This is my rule for everything, Step. You can hope in one hand, you can want in one hand, you can shit in the other, and see which one fills up first.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So, Chief Stella, Chief Patterson, I hope for the best.
I
I
do
got a
too.
lot of family and friends still at CMPD. I'm rooting for you. The reason why I'm rooting for you is because I'm rooting for them, because I want their lives easy. I want them to have all the resources and everything they need to do their job, and I want them to have the backing of the admin that when they do their job, that they're not going to get screwed over. Yes, if they mess up, hold them accountable, but
Absolutely.
none of that funny stuff that happened with the past administration.
And I think another strong point. I think she'll. I think she'll be fair, and I think if it comes down to, I mean, at a certain point, that position is really political. So once you get, you have to make the city council. You got a lot of pressure from different sides. It's a lot of pressure. It's not like being a sergeant where I just have to make my lieutenant and captain happy, and I'm usually good. So the higher you get, there's a lot of pressure. But I don't think she won't sell out. I don't think she'll throw people under the bus as pawns. I really hope so.
Hope not.
Because we've seen this other chief time and time again.
They get up there, they get in that position, then
that takedown where I think we talked about last week, where the officer slammed the girl that was assaulting somebody else. He grabbed her, she turned around and hit him in the face, and he threw her to the ground. And they came out and like, oh, we're going to do a criminal investigation, and the DA agrees, and the school police agree that this needs to be a criminal investigation, which there was nothing criminal against. But they
let's talk about that step. Let me get Stella off let's get Stella off the screen. Let's talk about that bullshit. For those who don't know, a student was body slammed by a police officer after assaulting not only somebody else that they were fighting, but the police officer who tried to break it up. So the police officer, the video was released, took that person to the ground, and now they talk about it should be a criminal. It is going to be a criminal investigation.
Hey, do you know that night or the next night after, this was at West Charlotte, they had a female killed from the high school. I don't know if it's related to that fight, but they had a homicide. But if you saw, there's a press conference that Major Butler did, and they pretty much just threw the officer the bus. And I'm still friends with a lot of the admin, some majors and captains, and they said that basically they did it so there wouldn't be a riot. So they would, to make the.
Hold on, Step. Let me hold on. Let me cook. They were worried that black people were going to riot.
Yeah.
Hold on. If you run this police department always worried about black people rioting, you will never be able to enforce the law ever again. Let me tell you something. Black people will always find something to be mad about. Number one, because they don't know the law. They don't know the law. They don't know the training. They don't know what goes into being a police officer. All they know is emotions. All they know is if I scream a lot, if I'm upset, people are going to placate to me because this is the era that we're in. That is bullshit. That officer did nothing wrong. And like I said in my Facebook post where some people try to bring up police brutality and all that bullshit, let me tell you something. If you raise your fucking kids the right way, you don't have to worry about them getting body slammed by police officers. I promise you, if you teach your kids to be respectful and to listen to police officers when they give verbal commands, they won't get body slammed. No police officer, unless they're a bad police officer, is just going around body slamming people unless they are not listening. See, this is use of force. This is a continuum. When a police officer says, at the very basic, the lowest continuum is what? At step, presence. Police officer here, you're doing something. I just show up. Stop doing that. That's it. The use of force is here. Now you're fighting somebody else. You're harming somebody else. Now I have to step in. Then you harm me. What am I supposed to do? Use of force is not pretty. It's not ballet. If you raised your fucking kid right, they wouldn't have got body slammed. And to CMPD, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I hope this is something that Chief Patterson is going to change. Throwing police officers under the bus because you're afraid of 10 to 15 morons in the community that don't know what the fuck they're talking about is going to be upset, then you're stupid. And what's the purpose of you having that badge if you're going to be cowards? I said it. CMPD, you are being cowards for throwing that police officer under the bus. If he did something wrong, yes, but for him protecting others and himself, which is the basic tenet of being a police officer, is requires him being thrown under the bus, then shame on you. And no police officer should want to work for CMPD ever again. They should withdraw their applications if they're not allowed to do the police work in which you trained them to do.
So apparently they know the consensus is the officer didn't do anything wrong, but they're going to say all this shit to quell the protester or the people that are. But the problem is, this is the problem, is once you do that, see, they need to come out like Putney would have done, and I think Stella will do the same way. Hey, this is an internal investigation. Anytime an officer uses force, we do internal investigation. If we find that the officer violated the,
that's how you word it.
But as it appears now, this is what we have. We're going to investigate it, and then but to come out and be like, oh, we're going to pull the red. Even they admit, hey, he didn't do anything wrong, but we're going to do this. So we're going to open a criminal investigation. So you do a KB cut. Now he's a suspect in a assault, right? So and then you come out and say the DA agreed, the police chief, the police department, as well as the CMS school police, all agree this should be a criminal investigation. So you should open yourself up for civil liability, because now, and they don't give a shit. This is a good fucking officer they did this to, and now his name's to be mud. So now when he goes to testify or have any issues, because you know how the attorneys are,
it's going to be Giglio.
Officer, so have you ever been a subject of a criminal investigation?
And he's going to have to say yes.
Then it doesn't matter what happens.
It doesn't matter the context. It doesn't matter if he was found not guilty.
Yes,
nothing.
Like, no further questions. I mean, they just want to. So they're willing, and they put him on admin leave. So they're willing to fuck this officer over in his career to save, so the department saves face. So instead of coming out, hey, we're going to investigate this, right? So right now, you don't have to. I don't care if you come out and say, hey, it looks like the officer did everything. Okay, look. There's this video circulating. We're looking at it. It's part of the use of force investigation. We'll look at it in part of the term of investigation. If any crimes were committed, we'll address it. But be like, unfortunately, this girl was assaulting someone. It go through it. What happened? The officer grabbed her to kind of get her off. Her hands were up here. She was able to hit the officer the first once or twice. I've heard both. I hit her in the face, and then she's like, "Get the fuck!" Is great, because right before she said off, like get the fuck off, like me. Well, what do you want to do? You want to create distance, right? So you got somebody up close. They come combative towards you, active aggression, and they hit you in the face. I'm gonna either throw them this way or this way. The quickest thing to do is, there's students. I don't want to. So throw her ass down. Same thing if she would have spit on me. I'm sorry. And I hate these people like, oh, you don't treat a girl that way. You see, go, no, I don't give. I don't give a shit if you're a 14-year-old boy, a woman. You're going to treat it the same way, and that's how the use of force is. It's not the least amount of force.
The use of force continuum is not gender specific.
No, it's not. So as long as the force we use is reasonable, and as a person who created in 2020 from the ground up with I was one of the few from the ground up from the board on the committee that created this new use of force policy. We had to look at use of force policies all across the land, and Stella was on the board. And she was very reasonable. We'd bring up scenarios, and she was very reasonable, as well as Putney. They had 3 uses of force. 3 policies changed because of my use of the force that helped officers. So I was very, I had a lot to do with that. So as the force is reasonable. That's a reasonable amount of force, right? So I don't give a shit. You punch an officer, you get thrown down, right? You could punch her back. Another thing too is like, you're like, well, he could have hit her at 50%. Now, if you hit somebody, you do it at 100%.
You hit somebody, you hit somebody. Like there's no 50%, there's no 30%.
Because the problem is too, if he played around with her and she started hitting him, and what would that crowd done? They would have. Oh, we could punk these motherfuckers. They would have bought. But as soon as he did that shit, like within policy, within standard, they were like, oh shit, we don't want to fuck with these guys. They're serious. Remember where we had an officer? I don't want to say his name, but you know who it is. Remember, it was fucking awesome. Garinger, right? That was Eastway, right? Garinger.
Mm-hmm.
So Garinger was a hood, like very violent. Well, the SRO was out, and they sent an officer over there, almost as punishment. They thought they'd punish him, send his ass over to Garinger, and he had a similar situation, and he tased the person the first day he was over there. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
His last name started with a B, and but nobody fucked with him after that.
Nope.
He
ride that lightning, baby.
They rode that. They tried his ass, and that's what you have to do. They tried.
You have to set a presence. You have to do that, or these people are going to punk you. There's just no way around. But that's one of the things that Chief Patterson is going to have to deal with, and we'll see that. And we'll be back after this commercial.
I know. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's me, Inked, and I need you guys to head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. Yes, that's right. Trifecta merch is here. It is here for our Trifecta family to show their love and support and advertise for free. Well, not technically for free. You did pay for it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. We're all inclusive. If Prince can wear it, so can you. Have a good one.
So, now it's time for us to get to our viral video breakdowns. Y'all love this. Y'all send videos to me all the time. So, let's get into it. So, the first video is right here, and it's a doozy. We're going to talk about it because some of these videos that I've been seeing, because AI is so good now. Sometimes I'll be wondering if it's like really the thing, because now AI, they could actually make it look grainy and make it look like it's body cam. So I'll be having to make sure some of these videos are good, but they are more than good. So let's check out this first video right here.
Drop the knife. Bring the child out of the room. Let me see your hands right now. Let me see your hands.
You are going to get shot.
Let me see your hands right now. Let me see your hands right now. Let me see your hands right now. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Drop the knife. Drop it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Now, Step. I don't know if y'all heard it from the beginning. For those who don't heard it from the beginning, we got a hostage situation, and you hear the officer telling the person to drop the knife, and you can hear the baby saying, "Kick down the door," because the animal that is no longer here, he had the baby at knife point, and the officer immediately, when he heard knock down the door, what did that officer do? He immediately went in. He started breaking down the door. And then he's standing face to face with a person having a motorcycle helmet on.
It's not ballistic. That won't stop a bullet.
It's not ballistic. He has a motorcycle helmet on with a knife to the kid's throat. And the officer did what officer did. Good training. He put one in him.
What was the background on that? Do you know?
It was just a call for service. Domestic violence, I think it was, and it turned into a hostage situation. And for some reason,
who was the suspect? Was they a relative or?
I don't know. But I don't know why he had that fucking motorcycle helmet on.
You're not doing a lot of. I mean, one, your hostage is like 3 foot tall, and so you got this much exposed, and the helmet's not gonna do any good. I mean, you're gonna lose that battle, and that
was an awesome shot.
Drop it. Pow.
And you know what? You know what made it easy, and I'm glad it did, was the fact that it was a kid, because it made that shot that much easier. Because if it was an adult, head is in the way. And
Can't believe that dumbass had
he had a motorcycle helmet on.
what's he? I mean, unless you're trying to headbutt the officers, it's probably not.
He fell immediately, as you should.
Well, I like it because you can actually see the bullet hit the helmet and it just dropped.
And you know what I loved about that whole interaction, when he said, "Come on, baby, come on." Like, he immediately threw out all professionalism. He I don't know if he was a dad or what, but he was like, "Come on, baby, come on, baby." It was like, I dropped this clown, like, come on. He immediately went to get the kid back to safety. Shout out to that police officer, man.
Good job. That's good work.
That's just some of the things you encounter. Like, you never put, when I tell you police work is so damn dynamic, it is so damn dynamic. I mean, you could go to a call, it'll start off as a disturbance, and it'll end up a hostage situation. You don't know what it's going to be.
Sometimes the most dangerous calls end up being like some noise complaint or some bullshit call. And we had a very similar situation a couple years ago in Charlotte, Westover Division, where they had that, they kicked down the door, same with a knife, and one officer ended up getting stabbed and they ended up shooting the dude. But you don't know, man. The DV, dangerous calls.
You don't know, Step. And speaking of knife, I think I have that one. Let me see, which one is it? Is it this one? I'm hoping it's this one. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Let's go.
Sit down. Drop it. He's got a knife.
We're gonna shoot from multiple angles.
Drop it. Drop. Hey, watch out, Heaney. Back up, Heaney. Drop it. He's got a knife. 7. Okay, good. Shots fired. 6602. Start fire. Board suspect down. All right, let's render.
He was about to say, "Let's render aid."
and they did a good job. The problem I have is, we've seen in the videos, and my pet peeve is they push that so much where they don't worry about security. Just because he's shot, then you still got to give him a hand. Just secure him, right? I don't understand. Is the house clear? Is the victim okay? Fuck that dude until we could work on him. And I've actually seen something like they shoot somebody, and then the guy's still moving, and one of the guys, they're a 2-man, and he runs back to the car to go get his medic kit. I'm like, no, dude, they're not. You have to.
No one gives a shit because they're worried about perception. They're worried about. Listen, if you
the dude just fell down, and he's worried about it. He's probably just processing it. I'm not criticizing the officer, but you get, look. We'll render aid when he's secure, when the knife's away from him, when we check on when we get the victim, when we secure the crime scene, when we make sure no one's in the house. But you can't. I've seen the officer safety go out the window because they shoot somebody and they can still be a threat, and they run off and they don't have backup now because they're worried about the med kit. It's just good shoot.
It's just and
hopefully, if in a scenario like that. That dude's gonna lose every time unless you have officers who are hesitant and not willing and hesitating to get stabbed. You see it. You see it a lot.
That was a damn good shot. I don't care about nothing else,
dude. I
don't care about giving him aid and stuff like that. And this is the thing I want to no, we're going to plug this into this next video that we're going to go over. And it's this one. And I believe, Step, you've seen this one. We've all seen this one. But I want to talk about this more, about the comments that I'm always seeing under these videos, and we're going to talk about it.
Funny enough, the NYPD doesn't have one.
Shots fired. 10-13.
Let's go here, Step. First of all, this officer is only alive because he stabbed him in his vest. I think.
Well, a lot of people don't know. It helps a little bit, but the vest we wear, unless you have the hard plates, which that's not a hard plate, it's not going to protect you from a knife wound. It's going to make it harder to stab through.
Yeah.
But
and then I want you to see this one, Step. What the fuck is that?
30 by 30. Let's see how that works out. So this dude just stabs his officer, and her first instinct is to pull her taser. As you and I know that taser could be a great tool, but it only works half the time, if that. I've tased 27 people, and out of the 27, it probably, I don't know.
I would love to get a female officer to tell me that
she would probably be dead
if it wasn't for her partner.
Two officers. You don't pull your taser with someone with a knife. You pull your freaking gun unless you have a controlled environment with lethal cover. It is calm, and you're able to. And you're trying to get a taser round off, and you got cover concealment. This is not a scenario where you want to pull your taser.
Can a female officer explain to me what is the fascination with their taser?
I don't know. I don't know if they're scared to use their gun, but we've seen this multiple times with females. And you and I have both worked with some high speed, good female officers, right? But it's I've said it 1,000 fucking times, man. It's a mindset. You have to have
you have to be ready to kill. You have to be a dog.
Yeah,
you have to be a dog.
And so what the women don't expect, as you've seen it too, is they get out of the academy and they go to the hood. They think, oh, I can talk to everybody. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I know how to talk to people. They jump out Belmont Allen, and they're like, hey, how did you do this? And the guys are like, fuck you, bitch, pop, and they're like, what just happened? No, they don't give a shit that you're a female. They will kill you. They will punch you. They will stab you. And this is the worst case scenario to pull your fucking taser. You're better off to pull a fucking ass baton than your fucking taser, because you're close quarters. You're not going to have the spread of the taser. It's a disaster. And if those other officers didn't, when it happened to be in the elevator, and if I remember correctly, this is New York, but I don't think this was related to the call. I think this is some random.
Speaking of New York, get ready. It's going to be more of this, New York. And guess what? They're going to build a monument to the motherfucker that tried to kill that police officer. He's going to get more grace than the police officer that he tried to take out. Now look from this scene right here. Right here, Steph. Who's firing the gun?
Do you see how fast he got out and over the shoulder and put a round on him?
Now look at this. What the fuck is that, Steph? What is that?
She's a midbrain, man. She's not. She hadn't processed. Granted, it's a spontaneous, random attack. You got 6-7 officers. You're not prepared for that, right? You're not expecting. That's the last thing you expect to happen right there. But when it happens, you have to. That's why you always have to have that. You have to be able to just flip that switch and go to from driving a car to you're getting shot at, or you're at line at the Harris Teeter, and then shit. You have to be able to. And once you turn it on and it escalates, you got to act appropriately. Pulling the taser will get you killed.
That is Step. There's no way. I know they gave her hell back at the station.
I hope so.
Like what? Like, ma'am. Like. And I don't think she fired the taser. Like, I don't.
What are you waiting on? Pull it out. You better fucking use it. Lethal. You do not. I don't care. There's a video. You go to it was sheriff's department LA Sheriff's Department, whatever. But this dude's got a bat, and he looks at a rooftop, and there's two dudes. They tase one of them, and the dude comes out with an officer with a bat, and they tase him, and it was effective, and it worked. But I'm like, no, dude, you don't pull a taser for a bat. You don't pull anything. You don't pull taser
Because if
for
it don't
a beer
work,
bottle.
you're a home run.
No, you have to have. If someone runs at me with a bat or a beer bottle, they're going to get shot in the face, right? Someone asked me the other day, do they train officers shoot to kill? Like, can you you get in trouble if you like shoot them in the head? And I'm like, no, if I get a headshot, if I'm authorized, if it's a deadly force situation, I'm going to shoot you in the right here between the eyes if possible, because that's the computer. You take the computer out and you're done. You don't have to worry. I've seen a lot of officers hurt and killed. When my shooting, I don't know how many times that dude got shot, like 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. They never would tell me. But we put rounds on him all over the place, and he was still able to fire and engage, right? So, but till the guy took a round through the eye or wherever he got, I don't know. You're in the game. You got to take them out.
Yeah.
That's
so
scary.
But I did that one because the comments is always, man, it was a knife, like you could have tased him. Let me tell you something. If that taser don't work, that knife is going to be lodged into your throat.
No.
A knife is a weapon. That's lethal force.
There's not anybody in the United States with any credibility that would say, a use of force expert that would say that was appropriate use, that a taser would have been more appropriate. No, you can't. That's
no, unless they're getting paid. So so let's get to this one. Let's leave on a funny note with this one. I thought you would like this one. Let's do this one. Check it out. Leave.
Bets, let's go. Bets, help me!
Where
the hell is she going?
Let's see it again. Leave. No, I'm not leaving.
Bets, let's go. Bets, help me!
That's got to be some Arkansas bullshit.
Best, let's go. Like she said it like she was prime Barry Sanders. Like she runs a 4.2.
Start the car. I'm coming. Dude.
And let this be a lesson to you. When an officer gives you a chance to leave, just leave. Especially, you remember, Step, what did it normally mean when we're gloving up?
About to be on.
It's about to be on. If you see us gloving up, remember it got to the point that they would tell us, like, don't let them see you gloving up. Like turn to the side, like glove up with your hands down. Like, don't be like in front of their face because it's antagonistic. But yeah, once we gloved up, it was on.
Well, but the question about that one, he said leave, and then she turned around and ran, and she was leaving. Unless the
I think at that point he was annoyed. He was annoyed, and it happens.
At least he fell on top of her, so he wasn't hurt. She had all that.
But under that video, they have there's a gif of Grimace dancing, and it just made me laugh. I was like, God, people are just great on the internet. I know the internet is the devil, but it's also very, very funny. So that's the show that we have for today. Remember, you can find us at the Black and Blue Lives. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Remember, I am Real Prince Blue on all social media platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. He has multiple personalities. He has Insta, Step 2223, and TikTok is TOG4280. Listen, we appreciate y'all. Keep sending us the videos. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Remember to always check on your people. Make sure you check on your partners. That's all I got to say. You got anything, Step?
No, man. Good show. Good luck, Stella Patterson, for
good luck, Chief Patterson. Welcome back to Charlotte. I hope you do good things at CMPD, because I'm just gonna be honest. If you don't, they might have no choice but the next chief be white. So,
don't let me down, Stella. I mean,
you don't want no chief looking like Step, Because then they'll swear up and down, you racist Nazi motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. There's no, then we will have riots.
So with that being said, everybody, we will see y'all next week. We appreciate everybody, and we are out. Check on your peoples. Don't forget. Peace.
Yeah. Look, black and blue lives. Yeah. That's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, podcast lit. I think we got a hit. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Look, we got Prince, Blue and Sgt talking black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. It's Step and Blue.